Chelsea fans, we are back. We are back on AGCFC. I've got, if you can see it, the tiny mic today because didn't charge this bad boy. So we're going to have to go with some shitty audio today, but it is what it is. Not everything can be perfect. It is once again 9,000 degrees in here. I don't even have the fan on. My mistake. I'm also wearing a sweatshirt. Probably not the greatest idea from me. Whew, it's 90 degrees in here. But anyway, today, we're going to get into some more news. We finally have Xabi Alonso in Chelsea training. It is so weird seeing him at Cobham wearing the Chelsea blue, if I'm being honest. I'm used to seeing him in the Leverkusen, used to seeing him in the Madrid white, but it's just, I never would have thought this day would have come. It genuinely, honestly, in a sense, feels like a dream. I feel like every time I see it, I feel like it still doesn't make sense to me. But finally, Chelsea FC, it seems and feels like we finally have a real manager for once. And it's the first manager since Tuchel that I feel like actually has experience, actually has, you know, talent in the position. Obviously, a lot better than Rafinha. Even with Maresca, obviously, I feel like he did pretty well when he came. But like with Maresca, we didn't know at the time if he was going to be good. Yes, he ended up becoming good. But this is a manager who, yes, every manager's a risk necessarily. But with Xavi, I feel like you know what you're getting. Undefeated season at Leverkusen. I think he did very well at Madrid. I think it was very harsh for Madrid to fire him just so quickly and easily. But again, what I'm trying to say is it's just the first manager since Tuchel that we're coming in and we know we're gonna get something good out of him. I mean, if we look at his stats at Leverkusen, oh wait, I can actually see his wins losses. He had 89 wins, 32 losses, and 11 or no, sorry, 82 wins, 32 draws, and 19 losses. Like only 19 losses. And what is that? How many games? It looks like it's like 150 ish. That's such a good record to have. Even at Madrid, he had 24 wins, 4 draws, and 6 losses, and they sacked him. I understand him and Vinny had their problems, but how are you gonna sack a manager that is winning or is getting 2.2 average points a game? That's literally better. At Leverkusen, he was averaging 2.1 a game, and at Madrid, he was averaging 2.2 a game. He was literally doing better at Real Madrid than he was at Leverkusen, in a sense. But that was a mistake from Madrid firing him, and now Xavi and Arbeloa, the manager they placed Xavi with, is actually at Fulham. They're going to play in the first game of the season, so I guess we'll technically see who the real better manager is. But hopefully under Blueco, this will kind of mean that we won't have any more shitty managers from now on. If Xavi were to move on, because at some point he's going to, and unfortunately the owners are going to stay. I think we did a good job at protesting. Thank you to everybody that went out to all those protests, especially with the Strasbourg fans too that came to London. That was, thank you for that. That was amazing. If I lived in London, you best believe I'd be going to those protests every single fucking time. But live in America, love Chelsea, but I'm not paying for no flight to go protest. I don't know. Again, so once Xavi moves on, if that's the case, whatever. Hopefully, this does mean it's just no more shitty managers, and even if they get rid of Xavi for some stupid reason, which obviously don't want them to, hopefully they'd still at least get somebody good afterwards. But what I'm trying to say is, it's just hopefully it's only up from here. Hopefully, Blueco have really turned a corner after the protest and really seen what the fans are asking for. I mean, this is a manager who, again, every manager is a risk. You never know, but this is the manager that hopefully now will get us to that next level and on the upward trajectory. So I have to hold my hands up and say thank you, Blueco. You signed the best manager you possibly could. We were not getting no Pep Guardiola or anything like that. So out of the managers we could have gotten, he was the best option. So yeah, I doubt. Are we gonna win the Premier League this season? No, but hopefully in the next couple seasons we can really build a foundation with Xavi, assuming he stays, assuming it goes well, and hopefully within 3 years we're at least winning the Premier League. That'd be great. I mean, with a manager like Xavi, you almost have to be in title. I'm not saying we're like pushing for a title challenge, with 2 games left in the season, but that season under Maresca, the first half of the season when we're not in a title race, it kind of needs to be something like that. Like I want to do the whole gimmick of we're not in a title race, but I hated that shit. I was so stupid. But again, just we need to be in a title race, like at the absolute bare minimum is top 5. Well, assuming the Champions League place, goes to the 5th place team in the Premier League. You know what I mean? So I would say, you guys know what I mean. Anyway, lastly on that, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the pictures of him talking to Esteval, that them sitting on the walls, whatever, the training pitch, and just looks like they're having a good time, whatever, with their probably speaking Spanish, which is good for them. It's just it's so beautiful to see. I almost can't even put it into words. I am praying he can really. I've talked about it before. I'm praying he can turn Esteval into I'm not about to say Lamine Lamal. I want to, but I'm not about to say that. But we know what Esteval can do. He scored that goal against Barcelona last year. Obviously, I think he could be a amazing player. Hopefully, he does. At some point, it's correct. You don't have a Ballon d'Or clause for no fucking reason. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we move on. Chelsea fans. Next up, we have to talk about Garnacho. Unfortunately, it is now over between Chelsea and Garnacho. Is that really surprising? No, not at all. So I think we bought him for what, 40, 45, or was it 60? I don't know, but we want to sell him for 35. Let me look it up. How much did Chelsea buy Garnacho for? You would think I would have already done my prior research, but I didn't. 40 million. Okay, and we're trying to sell him for 35. Chelsea, in Politico, you're not getting 35 million for Garnacho. It's as simple as that. But yeah, there's just no way we get that. Unfortunately, I think at the end of the day, it looks like it probably will. We want to get rid of him, but I just really have a feeling it's just going to be a loan. That's what it's just going to have to be. But let's look at Garnacho's stats. Why not? 43 games, 8 goals, 4 assists, 7.02 average rating. In the Premier League, he had 1 goal in the Prem. He seriously is just a cup player. Okay, listen to this. In the Premier League, 24 games, 1 goal, 4 assists. So in 24 games, he had 5 goal contributions. I wish I had a calculator so I could calculate how many contributions that is, per game, whatever. FA Cup, 6 games, 2 goals. Okay, all right. And then in the EFL Cup, 4 games, 4 goals. In the Prem, he had 24 games, 1 goal. In the FA Cup and the EFL Cup, he had 10 games, 6 goals. Oh my days! Even with United last year, yeah, he's literally just a cup game player. I'm looking back at a couple seasons now. Yeah, really all he is. Can't believe Garnacho was valued at 81 million in 2024. Man United. Wow. Anyway, again, I just don't think we're gonna be able to sell him. If we're gonna want to sell him, it's gonna have to be for 10 mil. Chelsea, just take the L. But at this point, I think it's gonna be a sell or a loan. Again, I just don't think there's any way we're gonna sell him. I keep repeating myself, but that's just how it is. I hear Roma's interested, but they want to loan him. At this point, if they're willing to take half the salary, do we just? I don't know. It's still early in the transfer window, so we'll see. But yeah, I had to touch on Garnacho. In my opinion, should we keep him or sell him? Oops. Should we keep him? Of course not. He was terrible, and he's not going to play under Xavi, so I understand why there'd be Chelsea fans that want to keep him since we literally just bought him, but yeah, in my opinion, he's just got to go. But anyway, we move. I've talked about him before a million times. We're going to talk about Joshua Chimpong. And does he start this season for Chelsea FC? I don't know. I think he could be really good for the future, but in my opinion, I've seen mistakes in him. A lot of people think he's great, and yeah, he is. But I feel like last season he definitely had some mistakes in him. And yeah, like he's young, that's gonna happen. But I don't know. I always have mixed feelings about him. Like when he doesn't play, I want him to play. But then when he plays, me and my brother are always like, bro, why is this guy playing? Like he's actually just not good. Like we need to loan him or something. But like at this point, if you're not gonna play him, he never played under Moreski, never played under Senior. Like if he's not gonna play, bro, at this point, you might as well just loan him out. Just loan him out. Just get like don't get rid of him, but get rid of him. You know what I mean? Like if he's not gonna play. But does he have a future at Chelsea? Yes, I think he does. I think he needs to start a lot more games this season, especially if we play a three back. He will play a lot more games automatically. But again, I just had to touch on that. Like Mans is just we got to figure out. We got to figure him out and get him start playing. I mean, again, I've said this. The managers know best, but it's just really unfortunate to just not see him ever play when everybody wants him to. Everybody's screaming for it. But anyway, we move on. Fafana. Just want to speak on this a little bit. I want to get it into everybody's heads. What are we gonna do with him? Like I don't know what's gonna happen this season with him. Like I just want to bring it up. Maybe start a conversation about it. I really have no idea. But the other main topic of today, I'm gonna start doing this on this channel, where every month I'm gonna make predictions and then review my predictions and kind of just talk about the month overall. So we'll do it 12 times, a year. I think that'd be a good idea. So July predictions. We play one game in July, so like I guess if we were to recap June, I guess Xavi didn't come in June, but I mean we did nothing in June, so let's just move on from that. But we play Western Sydney on July 28th. That's in 16 days, bro. Praise the Lord, 16 days fine. Like watching this World Cup, I'm literally sitting there every single game and being like, yo, can Chelsea just start, bro? Like I want to watch them so bad. Anyway, Western Sydney, they play in Australia. They finished bottom of their league. Ugh, absolute stinkers, by the way. But this is what I'm going to do for these predictions each month. I'm literally just going to go through the games we have and, talk about how the team's doing, whatever. Give like a maybe best of the month performance sort of thing. But anyway, Western Sydney, it's at 5:45 a.m. for me. Unreal. I think it's a weekday. Wait, can I confirm this? I don't know. Yeah, it's on a Tuesday. Fuck me, I have work. I can maybe watch the first half, so my match review won't be very great for it, but whatever. I don't really give a shit. So, yeah, a game we should cruise. I'm just wondering how we're gonna approach it. If we're gonna approach it like, if he's gonna want to see some of the big boys out there, is if he's still gonna want to give him a rest. Like players like Enzo Fernandez, if he's gonna stay at the club, he won't play that game because he's still playing with Argentina. But he'll probably get it to, I assume, the Reggie Walshes of the world, maybe like the new like a Palestras of the world type of thing. But obviously, my prediction win. It should be. I mean, it just depends how much we rotate. But if we play like the B team / the youngsters, I'll go like 2-0. If we play our good boys, it's gonna be like a 5-0 or like 5-1, 2-1. It should be something like that. But anyway, that's really all I have for today. These prediction videos will be a lot more interesting once I actually like. What am I trying to say? Once they actually start playing games, like if we look ahead to August, like in August I'll talk about, we play Tottenham, Juventus, Milan, whatever this team is from who knows where, and then Fulham and Brighton. So we've got a lot of games, so that'll be that'll be a good episode. And then like and then after the month's over, we'll review the whole thing. A lot of it's preseason, so whatever. But then like September, we'll really get to the nitty gritty because it's 1, 2, 3, only 3 games in September. But Arsenal's obviously in there, Brentford away is in there, Hull at home. So it'll actually be interesting to talk about, those games. When you get to December, January, those will really pick up. But simply put, it's great to recap. It's great to see Xavi in training. Garnacho's going. It's pretty simple as that. I'm really hoping we can finally make some real progress under Xabi Alonso.